Hello, and thank you for tuning into this week's Mayor's Update. As always, we have a lot of important information to share with you this week, so please feel free to share this video with your friends, family, relatives, and anyone else you think might find this information helpful over the course of the coming week. We're going to start and end with this same thing in this week's update, that we are looking for volunteers to help plant mums in the downtown area. We are at the time of year where the flower pots and the large planters throughout the downtown and different places of the city are going from the summer flowers to the fall mums. So we're looking for volunteers to help plant those on Saturday, September 13th and Sunday, September 14th. If anyone would like to lend a hand, it'd be very much appreciated. A lot of hands make light work. To sign up, you can call either the mayor's office here at 978-630-1490, or you can talk to Katie Jablonski in my office through an email at kjablonski@gardner-ma.gov to sign up to help volunteer to plant those mums. We're looking to get everything done before the Fall Festival and Oktoberfest happens. So if you're able to help out on the 13th and the 14th, that would be much appreciated. We still need a couple more volunteers for sure. This past week we had the first day of school for Gardner Public Schools. I had the pleasure of visiting each of our school buildings. I welcomed the students as they came into Gardner Elementary School and stopped by all of our other buildings to just welcome the students back to our schools. It was great to see the halls full again, the classrooms full, and everyone ready to kick off a new school year. I also joined President Jim Vanderhoeven over at Mount Wachusett Community College for their first day back this week, and it's great to see the Mount full. The Mountain is up 18% from last year's enrollment, and last year's enrollment was up 20% from the previous year's enrollment. So it's great to see the Mount actually back to pre-COVID levels for the number of students that are over at Mount Wachusett Community College. So thank you very much to President Vanderhoeven for inviting me to join him on the welcome back tour of the campus that took place this past week on their opening day. And I'd also like to say congratulations and thank you to the new president of Fitchburg State University, Donna Hodge, who delivered her first State of the University address over at Fitchburg State this past week and talked about her vision for Fitchburg State University taking over as its next president this academic year. With the retirement of President Lapidus last year, and just a general state of how things are over at Fitchburg State University. The partnerships we have with both Mount Wachusett and Fitchburg State Community College with Gardner Public Schools and just in the community in general is truly something that we're very proud of. So to both President Vanderhoeven and President Hodge at MWCC and FSU, thank you very much for your continued partnership, your invitations this past week, and I look forward to working with you both as we move forward into the future. The next Gardner Farmers Market is coming on September 21st and will feature some amazing tunes while you shop. We are excited to have Obscure Notation provide music for the market, bringing a perfect vibe for the event on a Saturday morning. Whether you're browsing some fresh produce or enjoying a treat, the live music will sure to make your event special. Again, the next Gardner Farmers Market at the Waterford Street School location will take place on September 21st from 9:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 62 Waterford Street, the front lawn of the former Waterford Street School. And as a reminder, we do still have the Thursday farmers markets that take place over at Park Street Park. That'll take place on Thursday mornings over in that location. This coming week, the City of Gardner and the Gardner Fire Department will be hosting a September 11th memorial ceremony at 8:30 in the morning on the front steps of Gardner City Hall. More information on that will be available on the city's website and social media platforms as that date gets closer. But the Gardner Fire Department and former Mayor Dan Kelly, who was mayor during September 11th in 2001, are going to be headlining the event and putting it all together and getting everything ready for us there too. So thank you to all of those volunteers who put that on. The Greater Gardner Community Domestic Violence Vigil will be held on Monday, October 7th at 6:30 p.m. outside Gardner City Halls on the front steps of the building here. This is an annual event that we have each and every year to raise awareness of the resources we have available to those who are going through domestic violence issues here in the North Central Massachusetts region. I'd like to thank the Gardner Domestic Violence Task Force and the Voices of Truth for annually putting this event on and really doing the amazing work they do day in and day out all year round for that important work and cause that they work for. The 11th Annual National Night Out has been rescheduled to Tuesday, October 1st, and will be from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. in Perry Auditorium. The event will look a little different as it will be indoors in Perry Auditorium because of the washed out days that we had earlier in the summer. But we know Veronica Patty and her team will do everything they can to make it a memorable and resourceful event for anyone who attends. It'll be very similar to the health fair that GCAT put on earlier this year. But thank you to all of our vendors who have agreed to come back, and to Veronica Patty and her team over at GCAT for continuing to make this event happen, even though we had some weather issues earlier in the year. The Gardner Museum has a new fall-winter exhibit that started on September 1st called the Northeast Wildlife Through My Eyes exhibit. The exhibit will feature stunning photos taken by our local hobby photographer, Jeff Sargent. It will be open until the end of this calendar year during regular hours at the museum, Wednesdays through Sundays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The public informational meeting for the sludge landfill expansion environmental review that was originally scheduled to happen this past week has been postponed. The reason for that postponement is MEPA, MEPA, the Massachusetts Environmental Protection Act agency, contacted the city and said that because of feedback they've received from residents that 8 days notice was too short of a notice, even though the law only requires 7 days. They'd prefer the city give a full 14-day notice, as just like it was a public hearing. So that we are going to be scheduling that. It will be in Perry Auditorium at Gardner City Hall. Want to stress out there too, this is an informational meeting. This is not an official public hearing. The environmental review process for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts requires that the city, any consultants and contractors, and the state officials at MEPA all hold a meeting in which the public can be informed as to what's happening, but this is not a public hearing on the matter, just because they have two different requirements for how those meetings get posted, how they're held, how they're conducted. This is a very informal, just informational meeting for the public, so we just want to make sure that's clear and something that everyone understands going into that when it does get rescheduled. And when it does get rescheduled, we'll be sure to let you know in these updates and every other way that we've mentioned it before via the city's Facebook page, our social media platforms, and other avenues that we have to notify people about that meeting. We also want people to mark your calendars for the annual Fabulous Fall Festival, Oktoberfest, Chair Luge, and have all that fun that's going to be happening here in Gardner on Saturday, September 28th. There'll be a lot to do downtown this season with that, so you don't want to miss out. Everything is family friendly. The Fall Festival will take place from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Oktoberfest is from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. The Gardner Chair Luge is at 2 p.m. And back this year, the NMC Run for a Beer will take place beginning at 10 a.m. at the Gardner Ale House. So there'll be an additional 5K added to this year's Oktoberfest and Fall Festival. You start at the Ale House, run around Gardner, and end up back at the Ale House. So it's great to see all of that there. So again, keep your calendar open for September 28th. It's going to be a fun time here in the Chair City. The Levi Haywood Memorial Library's annual book sale is coming up fast, also happening on the weekend of September 28th. So it'll be Friday the 27th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday the 28th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. as well. Again, more information on that as it gets closer. If the cooler weather has you starting to look forward to different indoor activities, make sure you check out the Theater at the Mount. Their next show, Steel Magnolias, will be showing on October 4th, 5th, 11th, and 12th at 7:30 p.m. and October 13th at 2 p.m. In November, The Sound of Music will also be performed. So thank you to Gail Steele and everyone over at the Theater at the Mount for the great community work you do in providing these shows to the community. It's really a highlight that we have here in Gardner. Just a couple other events that we have just to remind everyone that these are happening this coming week. On September 12th from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., Gardner Elementary School will be having their open house for families with students in grades 1 and 2. This coming Sunday, the PACC is having their Polish drive-thru. This is Sunday, September 8th. The $15 cash meal will cover kapusta, pierogies, glumki, and kielbasa. That'll take place this coming Sunday, September 8th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Again, $15, and that's cash only, and it's a drive-up meal. The demolition for the old factory at Stewart Street and Nadeau Street is set to happen soon. What's basically the delay on that building's demolition is that there's a lot of asbestos and other environmental materials in there. A full hazmat inventory has been done on the location. So before we demo right now, we just need to sign off from the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection to make sure that all of our ducks are in a row before the demolition happens in terms of plans on dealing with all of the things that are in there. That normally takes 3 to 4 weeks for that to be complete. We've just finished the 3rd week since we've submitted that, so hopefully we get that sign off soon and can get that demo moving forward shortly. However, that's really what's holding that up right now, is we're just waiting for the final sign offs from the officials at the state level to make sure that we have everything we need so that the demolition can proceed as required. Also, the current request for proposal for the sale of 94 Pleasant Street is currently open. That closes on September 17th. That is the 3-story building that's white and green outside across the street from the front steps of Gardner City Hall that we took in tax title and through eminent domain. We are looking at selling that right now, so that request for proposal process is currently open. Again, closes on the 17th. And construction is continuing over at the Uptown Rotary. That should be completed within the next week or two. You've seen this past week they finished looming and seeding and the different islands that will have grass. If you see that it's not loomed and seeded yet, it's going to be concreted over, and that concrete is going to match the red stamped brick concrete that you see in the center island there. And again, just because I said I would start and end with this, we are still in need of volunteers to help plant the mums in the different flower pots across the downtown area. That will take place on Saturday, September 13th and 14th. If you are interested in planting mums, you can call the mayor's office at 978-630-1490 or email Katie Jablonski in my office at kjablonski, Jablonski, at gardner-ma.gov, and we'll add you to the list of volunteers that we'll have for that day. That concludes this week's Mayor's Update. As always, if you have any questions on anything happening at all in the city, you can always feel free to give my office a call, and we'll try to get to you as quick as we can. Thank you very much, and have a great day.